tender.
Yeah, there's a lot of the guys out here tender. That's the new word.
That's kind of like little bitches.
No, yeah.
Yeah, little bitches aren't good, but like tender-hearted is good.
No, tender heart is never good.
Not mama's boys, but
If you're tender, you're definitely a mama's
I hate
boy.
mama's boys.
Yeah, why?
Because they never stand up for their significant others. They just bow down to what their mom says.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're really in love with someone and you want to be with someone, then
You're with your partner first.
you're definitely gonna let her kind of, I don't want to say run you, but you're definitely gonna listen to her more than yourself. Me, I'm not one of those guys. So this is for the guys who
I've dated the mama's boys. They're terrible.
are they?
The daddy's boys are worse. You're like trying to like never disappoint your dad.
What's
and
wrong with that?
agree with everything he says, and it gets involved in your relationships.
What's wrong with that?
And you even scapegoat your girlfriend so your dad doesn't get mad at you.
You were hurt. Why don't you just say it? You
I
were hurt and you were disappointed because they gave you this raw look, and then when you found out that they're one of those guys that actually listen to their mom and their dad, which is not a bad thing at the end of the day, how can you expect a man to treat you?
No, it's good if you listen to him and respect your mom and dad, but if you're like don't know who you are and you're just kind
But
of
the
like
only way you can find out,
a
Michaela,
mold
is
of
through
your
your parents.
I don't come from like a good household, so I
Michaela,
didn't
none of us
come
does. None of
from
us
my
does.
parents,
None of us
you
does.
know.
We're not. None of us
I'm
are
not gonna be
perfect.
like my parents.
But you can honestly say that your parents loved you and they tried. You know what I mean? Just like I can say the same thing. None of us came from a perfect fucking home.
But some were worse than others.
Yeah,
That's my
hell of a
quote.
lot- hell
That's
of-
my quote. No one's perfect, but some are closer than others.
Yeah.
Because I hate it when people are like, "I'm sorry I did that. No one's perfect." I'm like, "Yeah, some are closer than others." Because some people use that as like an excuse to not try, and I'm like, there's a big line within perfect and not perfect, and you're like
Right.
way over here.
Right. So you think does that play a role in relationships as far as it goes, like how to treat a woman or how to be with a woman based upon what they may have learned from out their household?
Yeah, definitely. I think I personally have been like that. What you see in your house is kind of what you think a relationship should be like. So if you haven't seen a good one growing up, you are definitely at risk in having a guy treat you poorly because that's what you're used to seeing because you don't know any different.
Yeah, but I come from a place where you have to lead by example. So therefore, you recognize what's a good example and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
I agree too.
So you have
Because
to
it comes down to you after everything.
Exactly.
You're responsible for your own life and how you treat people.
Exactly.
So even if you don't have good parents, you're like, oh, sorry, I grew up in a bad home. Sorry, I'm treating you wrong. No, it's your choice.
Right.
You know how to be a good person.
Or I don't know. Everyone is like all this, like so caught up in the world of television, TV, Netflix, and this and that.
Those
and the third.
relationships.
Like, so you start to try to, and I think that's where the world is fucked up today because now people are looking at relationships on television and comparing it to what is going on in their household or in real life.